In today's video, you will see the behind the scenes of how we make a creative video for actors Finn and McKenna at the official presentation of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And we will also have the exclusive opportunity to interview Finn, McKenna and Paul Rudd to ask them about the shooting and production of the film. Stay until the end to see how the video finally turned out. Very cool. Okay people, good morning. We are in Madrid right now. It's exactly 9:40 in the morning, and today we have a very busy day ahead of us because Sony has invited us to the official presentation of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the new movie that will be released this March 22 in theaters. And well, it's going to be an exciting and pretty cool day in general because we're going to have the opportunity to talk to some of the actors that appear in this movie. We're going to do with the team a creative photo and video with them. So, well, we're here at the doors of the hotel where the whole team is staying. So we're going to go meet them at the shooting location, and we're going to head to the photo call, which is the first thing we have to do today. Here we go. Hello. Hi, how are you? How are you guys?
Hola, ¿qué tal?
¿Qué tal, Mikey? What's up, Jordi? How's it going? How are you? How do you see today? Interesting or what?
Yes, quite.
Do I get the map from you? Okay, we are heading with the team to the official photo call for the film Ghostbusters Ice Empire, and there will be several of the actors who star in the film. Also, the director Gil Kanan will be there, so nothing, let's see. We are here in front of the Ritz Hotel, which is a pretty good hotel, so let's see what we find in there. A curious detail is that they have put the car that appears in the movie here at the door of the Hotel Ritz. The truth is that it is quite interesting, well, with Ghostbusters themed people, and it looks pretty cool. At the time, just entered Paul Rudd, one of the stars of this movie. The truth is that it is rare to see him in person, but it's amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The shooting setup is starting. They are already unloading all the material for the photo shoot, so we can see that they are bringing here everything. It is going to be done here in the photo call itself, where until recently the actors were taking all the photos, all the press videos, and well, as you can see, they are already here starting to set up slider, camera, lighting, and well, now basically it is the whole process of preparation of the video, so that then it's simply that the actors arrive and the video is made in literally 10 minutes. Jordi, the first thing you have mounted here is the slider, isn't it? To make the movement, the dolly in and the bottle will go here. I understand that you have frozen it. Where will you put it?
It's a chunk of ice like this, and we wanted to make a move, like going in. Is an ice this big, you know? We froze it using an 8-liter water bottle, and we made a hole in it to make like a frozen world tunnel effect, because it's the shooting for the Ghostbusters movie, The Ice Empire. We want to make the video with the actors like inside that frozen tunnel, and well, this is like the main thing that we're going to use, but there is a lot of extra material that we brought, lights, tripods, a slider to make the shot, because we use a lens called the OVA, which is a lens that is like this, that looks like a gun, and it is a lens that I think works very well for this video, because you can put it in holes and very small things to create those videos with a lot of depth. It achieves the effect of making it look as if you were passing through a tunnel, which is practically the only lens in the world that allows you to do that. So, well, we've carried many lights, we've taken polystyrene, especially to create a little bit of snow in the shot.
We've got Gio here who's, what are you, shattering ice or what?
Well, it has remained a bit frozen, and it must be separated.
Well, in my job, I consider that my co-workers, the human team, is almost the most important thing. Without a team, it's very difficult to do things, and it's very difficult to work with time limits, keep on schedule, especially when you have a shooting of these characteristics, which is with celebrities and actors. So you're working under pressure, you have a limited time to work, and it's very important to have hands and people to help you set everything up, to do the whole process. And if you need something at the last minute that you can, well, if there's someone who can get it for you, then, well, it's fundamental, I think.
Now, Arnaud, you are doing a BTS test, aren't you?
A BTS test, right?
It really is so important, isn't it? The BTS for TikTok, that...
For all platforms, so that, well, in the end, it's the first thing you see, as we said. The first frames of each video are for retention, right? For retention, and for them to go well. That's why it's so important to do tests, to have everything calculated, because, of course, when you do this kind of shooting, in 3 minutes, you have to have everything ready to do. Pim, 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 you know, and record the 4 or 5 good shots that are going to be in the video you want.
From that point on, I was told it was time for the interviews with the actors, and before the shooting I was going to have a few minutes to talk to Finn, McKenna, and Paul Rudd and ask them a few questions. So before that, we went through them and prepared well. What was I going to tell you, Gio? I mean, as far as questions are concerned, of course I have several questions, so I would throw out the same one, right? The same for both of them.
See what they say.
Hey, well, I wanted to give them different types of questions. After all, having only 5 minutes to interview them, maybe 20 questions were unnecessary because I wasn't going to have time, but it is true that, well, I wrote down many types of questions. On the one hand, questions a little more related to the creative process, or some questions a little more funny, such as if they have had any anecdotal, funny moment that they remember and want to comment on. Questions where they can also give their opinion about each other or talk about their work in the team, right? So, hey Finn, what do you think of McKenna? McKenna, what do you think of Finn? Well, questions that I think that as it's a group interview, these type of questions can be quite interesting. So, well, before the interviews, we were there evaluating with the team, with Gio and Sylvia, which questions might be the most appropriate for the actors, questions that maybe the other people who were interviewing them, a part of us, weren't going to ask. And, well, I think we chose well, because the truth is that everything went quite well. Everything went according to the plan, and the answers were interesting, so great. Well, people, we are already here at the doors of the room where they're waiting, and we're about to go in and interview with, on the one hand, Paul, and on the other hand, the actors, Finn and McKenna, who are waiting for us inside the room first. We have nothing, 5 minutes with each of them, so the interview will be quite quick. I'm not going to lie to you that I'm a little nervous right now, but, well, I think that once I'm sitting in front of them, I will be a bit calmer. After all, they are people like me, like you, Daniela, who are recording, and nothing that really reassures me. So that's all. Let's continue reading the questions. Let's go in and see what they tell us. How do you do? Nice to meet you. Okay, guys, now that I have you both here, I'd like to know, both from Finn's side, what it's like working with McKenna, and from McKenna's side, what it's like working with Finn, and what you think characterizes you.
Well, McKenna's very nice. No, McKenna's a really incredible actor to work with, because, I don't know, she has such like a great sensitivity, and it's very easy to act with McKenna.
Finn isn't a terror. He's very wonderful, one of my favorite people I get to work with. I think that he's one of the funnier people that I've gotten to work with. I really enjoy being on set with him. And I think that he's incredibly talented. And I very much enjoyed getting to watch him move into directing and stuff. It's really, really cool. And I'm excited now to like sit and watch what else he does.
Thank you.
It's great working with Finn and McKenna. They're both really sweet kids. They're and talented actors. You know, Finn is such a music fan, so we sit and talk about comedy and music, and it's been great getting to know him. McKenna is really, I mean, they're both really talented, but it's pretty crazy when you look at McKenna in the movie and then you see McKenna in real life. They look completely different. In fact, sometimes I'll see McKenna in real life and I'm like, oh yeah, oh my God, it's McKenna, because I'm so used to seeing her with dark hair and glasses. But it's also like just a testament to, I think, how good of an actor she is, and how she doesn't necessarily even worry about the physical attributes also when it comes to playing a character. She's a real actor.
From so many weeks of filming, I'm sure you have some funny moment, anecdotal moment you'd like to comment on.
Oh yeah, every day was, you know, so funny, and just being around all these, you know, comics and comedic actors, and just like being able to laugh all the time. Paul did this bit that was like, he would do the voiceover of like a fake documentary about New York, the history of New York City, but right before they'd say action. And for whatever reason, it was the funniest thing in the world.
I don't remember
And he'd be like, whatever. And then in came the Dutch. And then they'd be like, and action. And then we'd all go in. It would be really funny, yeah.
Well, the most exciting part for me in shooting this was getting to hang out with the original Ghostbusters. And when I think back as to what happened that was really memorable, there was one day in particular where we were all sitting around together, hanging out, waiting for the next shot, and I asked Dan Aykroyd, so what was it like to shoot Blues Brothers, and how did that start? Blues Brothers was a huge movie when I was growing up. And so that led to, what was it like working with John Belushi? How did you guys meet? When you were hosting, or when you were on Saturday Night Live, that first show you did, what was going through your mind? Then I asked him about a bar that he owned in the 70s, and David Bowie came by, was a bartender, and Andy Warhol showed up. These stories, getting to finally work up enough courage to ask these questions, there was one day there was just so many stories like that, and that was the highlight of the entire shoot for me.
Yeah. Thank you. Very kind.
Thank you.
Well, people, we have just finished the interviews with the actors. I think that in general, they have all gone quite well. I'm quite happy. Once I sat down in front of them, well, as I thought, the nerves went away and the conversation between us flowed very well. And now we have to hurry because in no time, they are going to come down here to the Photocall that we have next door, and we have to make the creative video, and we are only going to have 10 minutes to record it, so we can't take too long. So let's get to it.
Hi guys. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, when the actors arrived, the truth is that everything went very smoothly because we already had the shot very clear. We had already tried it many times and it was good. They arrived, I greeted them, hey, what's up? I explained a bit the idea of the tunnel. I showed them how they were going. They saw the tunnel. Finn especially told me how cool. He liked it. He wanted to see it a little bit. The shot, how it came out, I showed him a little bit how the shot looked like, and so on, and nothing. I told them to stand there to do the action, which was nothing. Walk 2 little steps, look at the camera, and boom. And very easy.
Okay, guys, now. Okay, and then let's do the first one a couple of times, and that's it.
The truth is that all of us were quite happy with the final result, which, by the way, if you want to see how it turned out, is already published in Jordi Koalitic's account. But well, after an intense day of shooting, here you have the result. Well, Jordi, the actors are gone, the video is finished. How did it go? I mean, how did you see it in general?
Good, very good. The truth is we had it very well studied. We have already done about 500 tests before shooting the video, so it was easy. Everything was fine, very fluid, very easy. It's also the good thing about having time to prepare before, because when it's time to do the good shot, you already have it very clear. You have already tried it many times, and it's just repeating what you have done before. So good.
Well, that's great. Well, that's it. Now it's time for the next part, which is to collect everything.
Collect all the material.
The whole mess.
Drive 5 hours home, and tomorrow?
And tomorrow we leave. We're going on a trip, which you'll see in the next video.
It's a surprise.
Well, people, now this is it, 100%. The shooting day is over. I think that in general we are all pretty tired but very happy with the final results, both for the part of the creative video we did with the actors and the part of the interviews. I looked pretty good. I saw that everything went pretty smoothly, so great. Well, as you can see, I'm alone now. The whole team has left me and they have rushed to Barcelona before me because tomorrow we are going to take a flight to a very special destination, which you will be able to see soon. It's quite a long flight, but I'm not going to say anything because there we are also going to record content. We are going to do some cool stuff and I want you to see it straight away. So, well, you know, like this video, subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content, and I hope to see you in the next videos. Bye.